Hello YouTube family, Attorney Lee Marvin here again with another amazing video that provides a lot of information about asylum and green cards. So we talk a lot about green cards on this channel because it's probably the most popular topic because so many people are trying to get legal permanent resident in the United States. And I talk about the different ways of getting residency. One way I've mentioned but never explained is through the asylum process, through humanitarian visas. So this is it's going to be a two-part video. The first part is asylum. The second part is going to be refugee status, because those are two humanitarian visas that have a pathway to a green card, okay? So first with asylum. So how do you get a green card through asylum? So basically, you got to get asylum first. Asylum is no easy process. It takes years sometimes to even get an interview for your asylum case. And I'm not even talking about the craziness that's happening at the border right now, remain in Mexico or the border shut down or any of that stuff. I'm just talking about traditional asylum takes years just to get the interview. The interview, if you're able to go and get the interview and get an approved asylum request, you get issued a document that says that you are granted asylum in the United States and you have the right to remain in the United States for as long as the government deems it appropriate. It also gives you the right to apply for a green card after 1 year of having asylum status in the United States. You have the right to petition for legal permanent residency. Because you're granted asylum, you can't go back to your country, so clearly the United States has adopted you and needs to provide a path for you to be able to stay here legally. Well, that's what the green card is for, okay? So you're eligible for a green card based on asylum if you get the asylum approval and that you have physically been present in the United States for 1 year after you got that approval before you file. Basically, they will reject your filing if you file too soon. You've got to be here for at least a year before you're allowed to apply for a green card. You have to continue to meet the definition of being an asylee, or the spouse or child of an asylee. So a derivative, which is underneath. So if a family member, there's a family asylum process, family member is granted asylum, the spouse and children automatically are included in that, assuming that it was done properly. So any of those people have to maintain their asylum status in order to be eligible. So the definition loosely for an asylee is someone who is basically unable to go to their home country because their government can't or won't help protect them from being persecuted by someone in their country, okay? So as long as you continue to meet that definition, you meet that requirement. So you also have to show to the government that you have not abandoned your asylum status. What does that mean? That means that you haven't, basically gone back to your country and life back to normal. You get asylum in the United States, but yet you move back to your country. Well, that doesn't make any sense. It happens. Well, if you do that, you're no longer considered an asylee and you lose that status and you don't have the right to apply for the green card, okay? So the next part, if your grant of asylum was not terminated. So asylum can be granted through the asylum office or through the court system. If either one of those powers make a decision that you're no longer eligible for asylum and your status is terminated, you're done. You can't get a green card. Why would they do that? Could be for a lot of reasons. It could be that they discovered fraud, immigration fraud. They discovered that there's some sort of criminal activity from your past that invalidates you for asylum. So those are examples of how your asylum status can be terminated, okay? So if you are what they say firmly resettled in another country, this happens. It's not uncommon for people who either get asylum or try to get asylum in the United States to head north to Canada, and they try to do asylum there. I don't know why you do that. If you got asylum in the United States, why would you ever do that? I don't know. But if you do that and you're resettled in another country, then you lose that status and you're done. You can't file for your green card. You have to be continue to be admissible to the United States. So admissible means that you have not violated important parts of the INA, Immigration Naturalization Act, that you continue to be able to be in the United States and to take advantage of immigration benefits. So people who are inadmissible usually is crime related, or if your past indicates that you've done something that violates immigration law, not just asylum law, but immigration law in general, then you can lose that status and you cannot move forward with your green card request. If you try, nothing will happen other than them denying it and possibly sending you a letter saying that you need to leave the country or you might be deported, okay? So that is a green card based on asylum status, and it's very straightforward. Once you jump through all the difficult and time delays and all the hoops that are set up for the asylum process, it's pretty straightforward once you get to that point. I will say that I have clients, family members, okay? They're not husband and wife, but there's brothers. We filed at the same time. One brother got his asylum interview, did the interview, eventually got approved. The other brother did not get the interview, and we're still waiting. That was 5 years ago. So one brother has had a green card for about 3 years now, and the other brother, it's been 5 years and he hasn't even had his interview. So that's my point. Asylum is very difficult. It takes a long time, but the light at the end of the tunnel is that you can eventually get your green card, and while you have your asylum case pending, the government lets you stay. They let you work. You have a work permit, you have driver's license, Social Security. You were protected until the government makes a decision and says that you can't, and then you got to move on, go back to your country. So people who file asylum takes a long time, but they're protected and they're in a much better place through the asylum process than they would be without it. So that is how it works. If you have gone through any part of this process and you're ready for the next part and you need help, let me know. I do a lot of these. They are complicated, but it's possible to do these without too much pain. Subscribe, as always, subscribe to the channel to get videos that help you with different parts of your process, or family or friends that might have different immigration processes from you that could benefit from these sorts of videos. Also, check us out on our website. Give us a call if you need a consultation. I love talking to people about these things. I love helping people, and I'm happy to help you.